From Oscar winners to reality stars, singers to sports icons, the aftermath of cheating isn't pretty for anyone involved. But when it's a celebrity affair, things can get especially messy, which begs the question, is getting freaky worth getting fired? It must have been for Ned Fulmer. The Try Guys YouTube series began with BuzzFeed, and it starred Ned Fulmer alongside Keith Habertsberger, Eugene Lee Yang, and Zach Cornfield. But it grew an audience of millions on the publication's platform before the guys realized, hey, why aren't we making a dime for our boss's dollar? And they went independent with Try Guys, as they rightfully should. Together, creating entertaining content for their masses, each Try Guy kinda had their own shtick. And Ned's was that he branded himself as the ultimate family man. His wife Ariel Fulmer was his entire personality, and he was supposed to be the wholesome one. But then came September of 2022, a little over 10 years after the couple, who shared 2 children, tied the knot. The persona Ned built came tumbling down. News broke via a Reddit chain that showed pictures of Ned cheating on his wife Ariel with Alexandria Herring, a producer at their company. The news and aftermath were an absolute whirlwind, and it resulted in Ned being kicked to the curb post a thorough internal review the same day the news broke. According to a video released by the 3 remaining members of the Try Guys the following month, a unanimous decision had been made to oust Ned, who wouldn't make any appearances on any more pre-recorded material going forward, but Ariel would. The story of a hidden love child forces one man to step down. Next up is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, around May of 2011, there were rumors beginning to arise that Arnold had an affair with his longtime housekeeper, Mildred Patricia Baena, who's even fathered an illegitimate child with her, named Joseph, who bears a striking resemblance to the action star. These rumors ended up becoming so intense, Arnold is forced to step away from Governor of California role lest he face angry voters. But naturally, he and his wife Maria Shriver denied everything like crazy at first, until his wife took a step back to reevaluate the situation. The fact he'd suddenly upped how much they paid the housekeeper, the accused love child really did look like him, the fact that Mildred would have conceived at the time Maria Shriver was away working, and so Maria Shriver separated and filed for divorce from Arnold. This spawned a new wave of rumors, which finally confirmed by Arnold himself in May of 2011. He finally states that Maria left him because he'd come clean about the love child in a therapy session, whose creation he described as one of his biggest mistakes in life. His unexpected admission to the newspaper include another not so insignificant detail, that he only acknowledged the existence of the child whom he supported financially from a distance to his wife Maria shortly after stepping down from office. So, a classic for Twilight fans out there was Kristen Stewart's affair. When British director Rupert Sanders was chosen to helm Universal Pictures' fairy tale live-action Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like the start of a promising career. But just a few weeks after the 2012 film's lackluster debut, he and the Huntsman star, Kristen Stewart, really top off the movie's bad press when they're captured by paparazzi making out. So, Stewart had cheated on her Twilight co-star, Robert Pattinson, and Sanders was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross, with whom he had 2 kids. Both released public apologies. Kristen's is particularly desperate and brutal, and it doesn't help either of them. Ross and Sanders ended up divorcing, can you pause it there? And nothing substantial transpired between Stewart and her boss, who were both then dropped from the film's sequel casting. Her career takes a massive hit, and she loses several other roles and endorsements, and faces harsh criticism from the press and the public. Kristen also had to deal with the fallout of her relationship with Pattinson, who she described as her first love, which ended shortly after the affair's exposed. While Stewart's career has started to bounce back following the scandal, it took Sanders even longer to secure a second featured directorial gig with 2017's Ghost in the Shell, which was then crushed by critics. When your producer cheats, you divorce and fire him. Next up is Robert Mutt Lange. It's a saga worthy of a country song. Shania Twain and her ex-husband slash producer, Robert John Mutt Lange, were one of the music industry's biggest power couples. Their split later became one of its biggest scandals. So Shania Twain's 14-year marriage to the music producer Robert Mutt Lange came crumbling down when she found out her best friend, Marie-Anne Thibault, and Lange had been having an affair since 2008. News she couldn't accept at first when Marie-Anne's husband, Frederick Thibault, told her. But by 2010, Shania is divorcing her husband and firing him as her producer. It was like I was kicked off my own bus while it was moving full speed, the Grammy winner told Red Book magazine in April 2011. But there's a very strange, happy ending here. Shania may have lost a best friend and a husband, but she gained a new love in her ex-best friend's now ex-husband. To quote her, "We slowly became very, very good friends," Twain told Ellen in 2011. "We had many months of just trying to make sense of everything, holding each other up. It was a very difficult time emotionally for both of us. I would say he was probably stronger than I was. He was a tremendous support. We were a support to each other and really found something beautiful in the end and unexpected." The couple then married in January of 2011. Ime Udoka was suspended from the Boston Celtics after allegedly cheating on his partner of 13 years, Nia Long, with a member of staff. News broke in September 2023 that he had been temporarily axed from the team following reports that he had violated their code of conduct by engaging in improper, intimate, and consensual relations with a colleague. And this public announcement is how Nia Long found out. Can you imagine finding out from your husband's workplace that he cheated on you when they put him on public blast? That's traumatizing, especially considering the couple who first met back in 2010. Can you pause it there? Share a 13-year-old son named Kez, who also found out what dad did the same way. A few months after the news of Ime's alleged affair surfaced, a representative for Nia claimed to the clamoring for quotes press that the longtime couple were no longer together, but were remaining fully committed to co-parenting their son. Soon enough, the actor wound up discussing the devastating ordeal for herself in a candid chat with Hollywood Reporter, stating that "I think the most heartbreaking thing of all of this was seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public," she said. "It was devastating, and it still is. He still has moments where it's not easy for him," she went on. "If you're in the business of protecting women, I'm sorry. No one from the Celtics organization has even called to see if I'm okay, to see if my children are okay," she added. "It's very disappointing." Next up is a reality show nightmare with a snappy nickname, Scandoval. Does someone quitting a show over a scandal count? I'm going to count it for this list. If you weren't a Vanderpump Rules fan, to fill you in, the controversy was over Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, the two longtime stars of the Bravo reality show. The two had been dating for 9 years when, without warning in March, it's revealed they'd broken up. Yeah, it turns out Sandoval had been cheating on his girl of 9 years with her best friend and co-star Raquel Leviss. And not only was the affair confirmed, but much of the aftermath played out in public on Vanderpump Rules reunion special. Madix now says she has no interaction with Sandoval or Leviss. Meanwhile, Leviss had a complete breakdown over the consequences of her own actions and quit the show before checking herself into a mental health facility. All the while, the man in the middle, Sandoval, is still holding on and making statements about how he fought so hard for Leviss and was fully in love with her, but she shooed him away when the scandal broke. Should have shooed his ass off a cliff. A famous cheater to get the can was Scott Disick. Kourtney Kardashian's on-again, off-again relationship with Scott is a thing of pop culture legend at this point. They finally called it quits for what seems likely to be forever in 2015, but not before rumors of Scott cheating on multiple occasions surfaced as being the reason why. Scott and Kourtney were only on and off because the man could literally just not keep it in his pants. He was a brutal serial cheater. Kim and Khloe Kardashian once found texts to another woman on his phone, and after that, pictures of him partying on a boat with his ex hit the internet, prompting their last breakup. It's famously known in Keeping Up with Kardashian fanbase that Scott really didn't realize what he had in Kourtney until it was too late. And now he spends his time moaning and groaning over what he could have had with the mother of his children. Ultimately, in 2017, it leads to Scott being given the can by Kris Jenner from Keeping Up with the Kardashians for his unchanged way and exhausted role in the household. And while it never got him fired, Hugh Grant's affair demolished his career for several years, and it's so iconic I decided to slip it into this list. So, the British actor, who had just achieved playing the lead role in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, was meant to be in Hollywood to promote his latest film, 9 months, when he decided, as a local paper said, to take a walk on the wild side. He cruises down LA's notorious Sunset Strip at night. It's here he meets Divine Brown, real name Estella Marie Thompson, a local working girl who he paid $60 to give her some bruised knees. Catch my drift. Grant and Divine are caught and arrested, not for the adulterous act, but for the fact the adulterous act was happening outside in a public space. Grant, the long-term partner of actress Liz Hurley, was quick to release a statement of regret to the press. But it was Divine Brown who the press really wanted. News of the World gets the scoop from her, paying her $100,000 for her story, which was a blow-by-blow account and a now famous sentence Grant told her. "I always wanted to sleep with a black woman. That's my fantasy." The tabloids went crazy with it. The revelations came days before Grant faced sentencing and became a media circus. The actor, who did not attend the court, was ordered to pay a fine of $1,000. Having violated a custodial sentence, Grant's career rehabilitation began with an interview on NBC's Primetime Tonight Show host Jay Leno to apologize to the world. But the damage was done. The bust occurred 2 weeks before the release of 9 Months with Julianne Moore. Rotten Tomatoes gave it the approval rating of 23%. He co-starred then with girlfriend Elizabeth Hurley in Extreme Measures, and it flops. Mickey Blue Eyes flops as well. So it kicks off a 3-year-long hiatus, ending his relationship with Hurley as well. It wouldn't be until 1999 the hit Notting Hill gives Grant a comeback. Divine Brown, by the way, pleaded no contest to engaging in lewd conduct in a public place at her hearing, and having violated her probation for previous working girl charges, was given an 180-day prison sentence. As Brown did not have to serve her sentence for 4 months, she had time to travel to the UK to promote Fantasy Channel, an adult station launched on satellite the same year, and even do some modeling. Speaking to The Guardian at the time, Brown said she hoped to run into Hugh Grant while she was in the UK. Kevin Hunter was fired and divorced. 2 birds, 1 stone for Wendy Williams, who had her estranged husband employed on her show as a producer. The Wendy Williams show host claimed for the first time in her 2001 memoir, Wendy's Got the Heat, that her husband had cheated on her, prompting her to hire a private investigator to trail him. 16 years later, Hunter was accused of cheating on Williams again after being spotted out and about in New Jersey with massage therapist Sharina Hudson. Reports then surfaced that the TV producer and Hudson had been romantically involved for more than a decade, which he and Williams then deny. But then in March 2019, Hudson gives birth to a baby amidst widespread speculation that Hunter's the father. A month later, the TV personality is filing for divorce from Hunter after more than 21 years of marriage. And then another week later, Hunter's fired from his job on her daytime talk show. To quote, Kevin Hunter is no longer an executive producer on Wendy Williams' show. Debmar Mercury wishes him well in his future endeavors. And to end things off, it's the beloved on-air affair. I've never seen an affair be so well loved, but it wasn't a so good An American Morning when the Daily Mail splattered 64 images of Good Morning America co-hosts Ime Robach and T.J. Holmes feeling each other up in November of 2022. Given that both parties, were publicly known to be married at the time, the Ime Robach and T.J. Holmes scandal began at the end of 2022, but as announced recently by the pair on their Ime and T.J. podcast, they were ready to go public with their romance and respective in-process divorces at the time of those photos being taken, which they both insist was in motion before being caught. On December 5th, 2022, the duo were temporarily removed, can you pause it there, from the daytime television program as gossip about them reached a fever pitch. And even though Robach 50 and Holmes 46 had drafted respective statements to explain their sides of the story, they refrained from sharing them in order to not exasperate the issue. Maybe it would have been better if we'd released the statements, admitted Robach, but we were just trying to keep our jobs. This was 2 consenting adults who were each separated, a source close to them claimed. They were both broken up with their spouses in August within weeks of each other. But it didn't matter if they had broken up or not, because in early 2023, ABC President Kim Goodwin announced that the pair was leaving GMA. Not so amicably. They got the can. I sure hope you enjoyed. Take some time to comment down below what you think of these cheating couples. Any favorites? Anyone you'll make excuses for? And of course, take some time to share with a friend, get their opinion. Like, subscribe, I'll see you next time.